Go.
Hey, it's Coach Josh here, training for Warriors Portland, and we are still restricted in our access to gyms and other in-person stuff here in Portland, Oregon. So I'm going to go over a quick workout that you can do for the health of your low back, specifically your lumbar spine and SI joint. I have a lot of SI joint pain. If you have that, then I totally feel you, and it's important to stay on top of it. So there's a little 5 exercise circuit that you can do for 15-20 minutes a day, a couple times a week, and it'll make you feel like $1,000,000. You could use it as a warm-up if you're doing more serious training afterwards, but this will help you. I've got a foam roller here, so I like to loosen up my quads before I work on my legs or back, so I'm just lying on the foam roller, toe pointed towards the ground. Do a few swipes, toe pointed outside of my body for a few more swipes. Then the toe points inwards towards the other side for a few swipes, so I'm getting different angles on the quad. I'll do that for both legs. Then I'm gonna get into my couch stretch just to loosen up the hip flexors a little bit more. And what I'll do is I'll drop into the couch stretch, squeeze the glutes, flatten out that spine, so I'm kind of heavily arched right here. I'm gonna get in that neutral position. Notice I'm making a fist, bracing my hip forward, creating that column, really feeling that quad stretch. And then I can enhance it by reaching up and then maybe even over just a little bit, feeling that. I'll do 60 seconds per side, so 60 seconds on the left, 60 seconds on the right, and then I'm gonna initiate my circuit. So I'm gonna go in the sequence of movements. So I'm gonna train my obliques, butt, low back, all this stuff together. And I'm gonna start off with a side plank. Now I've got this awesome pad here, which makes side planks a little bit more fun. And I always start with my weak side first. So if I'm going into a side plank, I struggle with the left side. So I'm gonna make a fist, get into this tight, long position. And then I'm just gonna take my time and I'm gonna count to 5, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm gonna go into my right side for the same amount of time, make a fist, 3, 4, 5. So I'll do 5 seconds on each side. Then I'm gonna drop and do a T-spine plank. Feet are apart now. And I'll do 5 reps on each side, that's 1. Coming up, hips are gonna be about the shoulder height as I roll back and forth. 2, 3, not trying to hurry, 4, and 5. So, done some planking. Now I'm gonna do some hip work here. I'm gonna do some hip circles. So I'm gonna do 5 circles, and I'm gonna circle from the front to the back. So I need an elbow up high, all the way out. Both of my elbows are gonna stay locked in this 4-point stance. I'm gonna do 5 big circles with the left. My knee is coming up at the same height of my hip, maybe even higher. And then I'm gonna do 5 circles with the right. And rotating. So really hitting those glutes and the groin at the same time, because the groin has to open up to let that leg really run wild. 4, and then I'm gonna do 5, boom. And from there, I've already done the hydrant. Now I'm gonna get into a push-up position, and I'm just gonna do an eccentric push-up. So I'm gonna go slow. That's 1. When I'm eccentric, I'm trying to take 3 to 4 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. Why am I doing a push-up to help my low back? Well, it's a plank, it's a moving plank. Training the chest and the shoulders at the same time, but also squeezing my glutes and knees together, creating that tension, creating that stability in the lower body, which is gonna help my back as well. And then I'm going to do some single leg bridges to wrap up the circuit. I'm gonna do 5 on one side, squeezing the glutes, hips stay at the same height. 5 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really focused on my hip health here, making sure they're doing the same thing. 5 reps of everything. I'll do that 3 times through at least, get everything warmed up. Now if you want to go for a run or do some more training after that, great. But what I'm doing is I'm really stabilizing everything between my belly button and my knees. Glutes, lateral fibers of the glute, posterior, hamstrings, ab, all of that stuff. So creating that stability around that low back, allowing those hips to be intrinsically stable, does so much for back pain, also improving performance. Great warm-ups to do for whatever else you got going on. You can do that every day, going 5 reps a piece, 3 times through. You can add reps as you get better at it. And then sort of a test to do at the end of your circuits. If your back is feeling better, you could try some more rotational stuff. So I would add in maybe what I call the windmill, where I'm coming through, just to see if I can rotate without irritating my back. If you can do that, you can go through a nice split stance here where hips are doing 2 different things, kind of creating some different kinds of stresses on that low back. If you can do that with no pain, then you're progressing nicely and you're ready to move on to a different phase of training. So, rep schemes are in the description. 5 reps of everything on each side. Do that 3 times through. If you want to just set a timer and do it for 15 minutes, that's a great little movement snack, little workout to carry you over in between your strength training days. And just gonna continue to make you feel good. You gotta do everything you can when you're in this pandemic environment to feel strong, be strong, and continue to bring forth the warrior within.